Well, let's go back to home affordability here for a minute. Earlier, we talked about how only about 30% of Americans can afford all of the homes that are listed for sale, right? And that's not a very good outlook, especially if we look at comparably of how affordable homes used to be in the past. Like, for example, in the 1980s through the 1990s, anywhere between 55 and 65% of homes were affordable to a median income household. Guys, that is more than double of what's affordable right now. And that's with mortgage rates in the 1980s, anywhere between 12 and 18% for a lot of people. In the early 2000s, before the bubble actually formed, still 50% of homes were affordable back then. Post-Great Recession, after the big real estate crash, a whopping 75% of homes were affordable because home prices dropped so far and mortgage rates fell at the same time. So if you were a home buyer between 2010 and 2016, that was like the perfect time to buy a house in most of America. So the fact that we went from anywhere between 50 to 75% of homes being affordable on the U.S. housing market to only about 20 to 30% today, that is pitiful. It's no wonder why houses are just sitting on the market. Like Clayton was saying, you know, people around here are spending $2 million or sometimes a little under for these tiny little houses, but even he doesn't know how they can afford it. I don't know how they can afford it either. I think he's right. I think he said that a lot of them must be getting help. They probably have family money. A lot of them probably have deep connections into the Silicon Valley world here of cash, right? Somehow. I don't know what, but maybe it's just flat out corruption. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised at any of it. But the fact remains that people who buy houses in this neighborhood, and even take a look around, guys, this is not really the nicest neighborhood visually. You know, you have the power lines here above ground. They're very ugly. These houses are very small and old. Most of these houses are like under 1,500 square feet. A lot of them are 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom for the whole family. Imagine you're spending $2 million for that. But people see the value in it because of the school. And they want to be a walking distance to the Good Earth store, which is just straight in front of me, right over there. That's the store that Clayton was talking about. This has like a bunch of, you know, high quality food and stuff in there. And I've been in there several times. I go there to buy this yogurt that I can't find anywhere else, but the food is very expensive. I don't really buy anything else. But yet at the same time, we're seeing some reports come out to say that housing affordability is actually starting to improve now. According to First American Analysis, they found that there's been a 3.1% year-over-year improvement in housing affordability, which now marks 5 months of consecutive gains. And this confirms what I've been telling people, that now is a better time to buy than it has been in the past few years, but it's still not a great time to buy, but it does show us that things are getting better and affordability is improving when adjusted for inflation, especially because you have home prices coming down in many cases, inflation still going up. And when you combine that rising inflation with already nominal price drops, there's some serious discounts to be had out there already. Rising incomes are a small part of this puzzle, but definitely not a big part of it. People's incomes are still not enough to keep up with inflation right now. But it's funny because there's all this conflicting information out there, okay? You have a company like First American saying that home affordability is improving, but according to the U.S. Census Bureau, the cost of homeownership is still going up right now. So they're saying that the median monthly owner costs increased 3.8% from 2023 to 2024. And from 2022 to 2023, it was a 3% increase. But they are factoring in your mortgage, your taxes, your insurance, the whole shebang that it costs to own a house, not just your mortgage payment. And we know that the taxes and insurance have been rising pretty substantially as well over the past few years. Whereas First American, they're likely just looking at your monthly mortgage payment and seeing those payments come down and seeing wage growth increase a little bit. And that's how they're coming up with this increased affordability. But when you look at the whole picture of what it really costs to own a home, it definitely is getting more expensive to be a homeowner, not cheaper. And that's another reason why buyers have so much negotiating and bargaining power in 2025, because people are like, listen, if I am going to jump into this mess and I'm going to pay for all the stuff necessary to keep this household going, I want a substantial discount, because not only does that make it more worth it to take the risk for me, but it's likely the only way I can actually afford to buy your house. But personally, I'm happy that the tide is finally turning, even though I own real estate, guys. And if I wanted to sell, I would have to take a lower price than I would take a year or two ago. I think overall, this is a good thing for the country. This is what people need right now. It's nowhere near enough yet, not big enough discounts to jump back in, but we're on our way. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you don't want to wait for my next video to come out, check out this one on the screen right over here, and I'll see you in the next one.